Yeah. Turn the speakers up. This ain't about rhythm, it's about residue. About what gets left behind. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. They sold a fantasy, wrapped in the gold chain. Told a whole generation pain was a role play. Kids in the suburbs, kids in the blocks, learning how to talk from the mouths of the shock. Every verse another lesson in revenge, every hook another reason not to make amends. They call it entertainment, say it's all pretend, but 1,000 little messages depend on where they land. A 13-year-old staring at a cracked phone screen, trying to figure out exactly what a real man means. Sees respect tied to fear, power tied to violence, and empathy gets buried underneath the sirens. Nobody pulls the trigger from a song alone, but ideas grow roots when they're overgrown. When poison sounds beautiful and danger sounds cold, the classroom loses ground to a louder school. Accessory to murder, never held the gun, never stood there when the damage was done. But when blood becomes a lyric and the pain becomes a trend, how many warnings did we choose not to send? Accessory to murder, hands look clean, but influence lives in the space between. When the child learns darkness before they learn truth, who's responsible for what reaches the youth? The beat hits hard and the message slips in. Dressed like confidence, shaped like a sin. Everybody wants status, everybody wants fame. Nobody talks about the bodies behind the name. A culture built around the loudest extremes, turning nightmares into platinum dreams. The cameras keep rolling, the labels keep feeding, while the audience forgets the difference between seeing and being. Now the headlines read like yesterday's bars. Young boys chasing ghosts in expensive cars, thinking consequences something that happens to others, till the funeral home fills with sisters and mothers. And the industry shrugs, says we just provide, like the ocean ain't responsible for shaping the tide. No, a song can't kill, but it can normalize, and repetition turns fiction into someone's life. Accessory to murder, never held the gun, never stood there when the damage was done. But when blood becomes a lyric and the pain becomes a trend, how many warnings did we choose not to send? Accessory to murder, hands look clean, but influence lives in the space between. When the child learns darkness before they learn truth, who's responsible for what reaches the youth? This ain't an attack on every voice with the mic. Not every rhyme glorifies the night. Some tell the story, some expose the scars, some build a ladder, some worship the bars. But when profit needs chaos and chaos sells, the louder stories often come from hell. And every generation pays the hidden cost, counting names, counting dreams, counting what's lost. So call it art, call it freedom, call it what you will, but words are never harmless when they're climbing every hill. A soundtrack can inspire, a soundtrack can mislead, plant a forest of wisdom or a field of weeds. I'm not blaming music for every broken street, but culture is a river and we're drinking what we meet. And if influence matters when it's lifting people higher, then it matters just as much when it's feeding the fire. Accessory to murder, not the weapon, not the crime scene, just the whisper in the background saying, this is normal.